Hey, conceptual physics students and parents. As we start the year, I'd like to give you a few hints about how to solve problems on textbook assignments, because during the entire year, every time we have a new unit, there will be textbook problems assigned, and when you solve them, you may be unfamiliar with how to solve science textbook problems. So I want to give you some hints about number one, how to solve these problems, and number two, how I'll be grading these assignments. So basically, when you see the textbook assignment, you'll see two different kinds of problems. One would be an idea kind of question, and a question that doesn't necessarily have numbers attached, but ideas. Let me give you an example. Just kind of randomly as we look in the book, you will see questions like number 45 on chapter 4. And it says there, correct your friend who says the dragster rounded the curve at a constant velocity of 100 kilometers per hour. Now, likely you're taking a look at this at the very beginning. We're not doing chapter 4 yet, but the main thing is, if you see a question like this, you should explain in more than just 2 or 3 words what the answer is. Let me just tell you how I would approach this. So let's say you were solving this and you would look this in number 45. I would answer it this way, or a student looking at this would give me a sentence or two. So the thing that you don't know now probably is that velocity has 2 parts. It's how fast you're going and the direction. So I would answer it this way. Your friend said the dragster is going at a constant velocity, but the dragster is going around a curve. The direction is always changing. Velocity has both speed and direction. So the friend is wrong in saying it has a constant velocity, so that the reader, as I read this to grade it, I can see that you recognize that constant velocity is not what a car has when it's going around a curve. So you've answered that. So if I was grading this question, all right, so if you answered it completely right, then I would give you 4 out of 4 on this, okay? So if you give it a try, so let's say, for instance, you try this, but you didn't get it right, okay? Here's what I'd like to do. I would like to give you a good bit of credit for just trying the problem. So let's say you answered it, but you didn't answer it quite right. I am likely going to give you then 3 out of 4, okay? Now, what if you just said 1 or 2 words? Then maybe I would give you 0 out of 4. What I will do on every assignment is give 10 total points. I will, at my choosing, choose 3 problems to grade. 2 of them will be ones that are 4 out of 4. And one of them will be 2 out of 2, and I'll explain that in a moment. So let's look at the other kind of problem. The other kind of problem is number 51. Let me just show you where number 51 is in the textbook. So you would find it right there. It says in number 51, if I could get to this right place, there we go. A dragster going 15 meters per second north increases its velocity to 25 meters per second north in 4 seconds. What is the acceleration during the time interval? So you could solve that a couple different ways. But the main thing that I would really advise is that every time there's a new unit, I will give you this thing. This is a formula sheet. So when you look at this, you'll say, all right, what are the things they've told me that are knowns and what's the unknown? So you discover all of these formulas here. They gave you the beginning and ending velocity, the time, and they ask for the acceleration. So what I would do from my formula sheet, and this is what I advise of you, is to write down the formula. So when you look at this, you could say, all right, I'm going to show my work, and you will not get credit if you don't show your work. I will show my work by saying the beginning velocity, v1, was 15 meters per second. And then I would write the ending velocity, v2, is 25 meters per second. I would also write that the time interval was 4 seconds and that the acceleration is the unknown. Notice how I put this as a question mark. All I have to do is search on my formula sheet for the one formula that has those 4. And what I showed you was the formula sheet, and this is showing your work. You write the formula A equals V2 minus V1 over T. You would even show this being substituted in. So the final velocity is 25 meters per second minus 15 meters per second for the beginning, divided by 4 seconds. And then, of course, what you would do is finish this, and I won't finish this for you right now, but then you finish it by solving it on your calculator and sometimes in your head. Regardless, all of that is showing your work. And if you get an answer for that, and you write it down and it's all correct, again, I would give you 4 out of 4. But what if you solve this and you solve it wrong? And you say, for instance, the acceleration is 12 meter per second squared, which is the wrong answer. But let's say you got that, and so I can see maybe where your error is. I would give you 3 out of 4, okay? However, what if you solved it this way? What if you write down number 51 and you have an answer that is 3, okay? Or 3 meter per second squared, or anything. It doesn't matter if this is the right or the wrong answer. If you just write down a number, you will get 0 out of 4. So again, let me say one more time, this is the showing your work technique, and it has to happen on every assignment. You will get no credit for just writing an answer, no credit. I will grade the assignments this way. I will choose out of the entire assignment 3 questions to grade, okay? So 4 out of 4 for one of them, just 3 out of 4 for just trying, 4 out of 4 for doing it right. Another one, 3 out of 4 for just trying, or 4 out of 4 if you do it right. A third one is really cool. A third one is I will choose a question, again, of my choosing. I will choose one, and it's usually a tougher one. If you try it on this third question that I choose, if you just try, it doesn't matter if it's right or wrong, I will give you 2 out of 2. So if you try all the problems, the worst you could ever get on an assignment is 8 out of 10, and likely you're going to get some 9 out of 10s or 10 out of 10s. I hope this helps.